Look, here's a channel doing crazy good in their first 60 days and could easily do it full time if they wanted to, but on the other hand, here's a channel that's posted for over a year with no results. And why is that? Well, more effort and no views. Turns out the YouTube algorithm has favorites and it hates what this channel is doing without them even realizing it. Now I want to show you 11 things the YouTube algorithm hates, and if you stop these, you might finally be able to get somewhere. So number 11, a huge mistake is deleting old videos. Now, I get it, you might want to clean up your channel. If you've been posting before, you've done something different, but you have to be really careful because YouTube may see this as an instability. And each video on your channel is a data point for the algorithm, meaning that it's building your channel's reputation, its authority on YouTube, which means that if you delete things, they might lower or reset that trust score you've already earned with the algorithm. Number 10 is going to be using the same AI voice as everybody else. So this is mostly for faceless channels, and it's a bad mistake. AI voices are really powerful and cheap to generate, and you can generate a whole voiceover in a matter of seconds for a few cents. And it actually sounds very good and natural nowadays too. But here's the problem, okay? The popular known AI voices are already known to the algorithm, and they've been associated with bad AI slop and other bad channels and content. So you want to choose a unique AI voice or clone your own voice to stay safe and not be punished for other creators' mistakes. Number 9 and number 9 large, not disclosing AI content. And this is a new rule, and in the actual guidelines, you don't have the choice. If you use certain AI features, they need to be disclosed when uploading a video, and there's a new little checkbox that you can check telling YouTube about it. Now, full disclaimer, this is not going to hurt your channel. YouTube is actually encouraging AI as long as it's creating value. I mean, they own AI Studio, they own a lot of different AI things, and they're even adding AI into YouTube itself, a lot of the generative AI stuff, to create shorts and other content. But you need to disclose it. YouTube knows anyway, and the algorithm may punish you and lower the trust and reputation score of your channel, which means fewer recommendations and less growth. Stay safe. Number 8 is to stop using chapters. So chapters divide your video into, chapters, sections. A+ for that reasoning, thanks. Chapters are great for some videos where people skip ahead to what they need and, that's the natural process. But for other YouTube videos, chapters, from what I've seen, lead to scattered watch times and a lower average view duration, which harms the algorithm. So you need to consider your niche and whether chapters actually benefit you or punish you long term. For example, in this video, I could use chapters, but I don't do it because you might skip ahead to one you find interesting, and you actually need all these pieces to make it work, or it's not going to work well. So that's why I don't do it, and stick around, please. Number 7 is going to be asking your viewers to click a link in the description. And this is a big one. YouTube absolutely hates when people leave the platform YouTube. They don't like people clicking links because they want to keep all the viewers on YouTube, which makes total sense. That's their entire business model. But YouTube also knows that creators need to make a living, and that's often by affiliates, sponsors, or selling stuff, so you do need a link in the description. But in the perfect world, you wouldn't even have a link, and they wouldn't be allowed to do that. But don't promote this link early on in your video, because if a viewer spends a couple of minutes and then clicks, you're giving YouTube something in return, right? They can watch a little bit of your content, show some ads, but if they leave right away, it's a really bad deal for YouTube. And guess what? YouTube is the boss here. YouTube will stop showing your video if everybody keeps leaving and going elsewhere and clicking that link. So you have to find a balance between link clicking and conversions and views. And number 6 is going to be to stop treating YouTube like an algorithm. Now, I know double standards, Lucas. Your videos is about the algorithm, but the algorithm doesn't really matter, right? You know what actually matters? The audience behind that algorithm. If your videos aren't performing, it's not because the algorithm hates you, unless you're doing one of these mistakes that I'm going to show you. It's because the audience does. And the algorithm just shows your audience and the people what they like. So you should start thinking about what your audience actually likes, really breaking it down to basics here, I know. And spoiler, that's gonna blow up your channel. So number 5 is clickbait. And I know it's tempting to write a clickbaity title and a thumbnail that has nothing to do with your video, but unfortunately it's gonna destroy your growth. Back in the early days of YouTube, when clickbait was, a thing and a big thing, this actually worked. You could go viral if people just clicked on your video, and the rest didn't really matter. But now, we're 2026, the algorithm has seen it all, and if your video misleads people that click and leave, you're actually hurting the platform more than you think. Because think about it like this, right? These people that were supposed to watch YouTube are going to leave the platform and might not watch another video. They might be annoyed, they might go make a cup of coffee and never come back, meaning that you've wasted what YouTube so kindly gave to you, which were impressions, eyeballs, human attention. They could have shown another video in the feed and spent that attention on another video to make themselves a profit, but you wasted the attention, and they really hate this. So make sure you deliver on the promise and don't use clickbait. A strong title, a strong thumbnail is good, but not clickbait. And so number 4 is to show and don't tell. And this is for every niche on YouTube. I'm also trying to improve this and become better at it, because it's really the secret to a lot of things, is to stop telling people and just show them, right? Mr. Beast always shows what's coming later in the video already in the intro. He doesn't just tell you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna build a magic castle. He finds proof from his video from actually building the magic castle and throws some of those clips into the intro already. And why is that? Well, there's a very good reason, right? People don't trust strangers, especially not on the internet and in 2026. And if Mr. Beast, with all that credibility and fame, still has to do this and kind of prove that he's going to do something, so do you and I guarantee it. If I say, I found 10 faceless channels blowing up right now, you might be suspicious. But then I show you 5 of these on the screen right now, and you're like, okay, well, I'm actually seeing these things and he's probably gonna deliver. And so you keep watching the video. Trust is really key on YouTube. Show, don't tell. And so that's gonna be number 3, using the same thumbnail. So I'm very guilty of this myself, because when you find a thumbnail that works, you wanna stick to it, and you should, because it works. But you have to switch it up a little bit in every thumbnail, whether that's moving the face, or changing the expression, or changing the text, or switching it up. Because if you don't do this, whether it's just a simple thing like switching the colors, you risk ending up classified as AI slop and put in the YouTube AI slop jail, which you don't want to do, right? And the reason is pretty simple. YouTube has no real problem with you making thumbnails that are good if they're similar, but the problem is that a lot of these like low quality slop channels are just using the same thumbnail over and over again. So if you do that, even if you're a good channel, you might get caught in the crossfire. You're not actually the target, but you might still get hit. So number 2 is going to be using the same stock footage. Now, I love stock footage and there's a lot of good sites for free, but try to vary the things you use. And especially something I see very often is to avoid generic stock footage that everybody's already seen. Otherwise, your audience, they're going to recognize this and think, this is a low quality, low effort production. I've already seen this stock footage a billion times. Of course, excluding memes, which will lower the view duration and hurt the algorithm. And finally, number 1 is going to be ending your video, and this is critical, so stick around. We all know the little thing about end screens, the little, box that shows up after a video, and you click it and you keep watching, hopefully, but most channels don't really use it properly. So instead, you want to tell the viewers, in this video, I'm going to show you the best faceless niches and how to get monetized as a beginner in 5 minutes. Click here. Yes, right there. That's it. And I'll see you there.